tool wear, tool life, and mentionability. Tools may either fail suddenly or gradually. The sudden type or death of tool can be due to excessive plastic deformation, fatigue, fracture, brittle fracture, etc. But we can't predetermine that due to which reason and when will the tool fail suddenly. Moreover, the number of tools which will fail suddenly will comparatively very less. Hence, we do not take care of sudden death. Gradual death of tool occurs due to gradual wear of tool at its rake face and the flank face surface due to the following mechanisms. Chip phase diffusion, phase oxidation, tool chip adhesion, workpiece tool abrasion. Diffusion at very high temperature at rake face of tool, the atoms of alloying elements start to diffuse towards chip material and rate of diffusion will be even higher if tool material has very high affinity with the workpiece material. Adhesion due to very high temperature at rake face, some of chip material start to adhere to rake face in the form of small weldments which are like small spots. These spot type weldment will continuously be dragged by chips flowing over them. Hence they break and are carried away by chips, some carrying some of the material from lake face as well. Oxidation due to very high temperature, oxide layer form at lake face which are very thin and are regularly removed by chips flowing over them. Abrasion, as cutting edge comes in contact with very hard and brittle impurities present into the workpiece non-uniformly in form of pockets. The cutting edge breaks and flank surface loses some material while hard and brittle impurities which are present at underside of chip rubs against the rake face leading to wear at rake face. Breaking of BUE, as BUE breaks its fragments rub against the rake face and plow against flank surface leading to wear both at both face and flank. This is face, this is flank wear, crater wear. The wear which appears at rake face is called as crater wear and it always starts at some distance from tool tip where temperature is highest. Wear which appears at flank surface is called flank wear. Flank wear appears in three different stages varying with varying rates. Flank wear primary, secondary, tertiary. Primary wear land size increases. Tertiary time high temperature. In the primary wear region, the sharp cutting edge of tool breaks quickly and a primary wear land is established. In secondary wear region, wear progresses at a uniform rate and the size of primary wear land increases. In tertiary wear region, there will be a sudden rise in rate of wear because of the flank wear becomes highly sensitive to increased tool temperature in the tertiary wear region and therefore it is recommended to regrind the tool before it enters tertiary wear region. Note generally flank wear predominates crater wear into the failure of tool, but at a very high cutting speed, crater wear will predominate flank wear. Based on flank wear, Mr. Taylor suggested the following interrelation between cutting speed and tool life. Vt power n is equal to C. V cutting speed meter per minute only in this units. T tool life in minutes, n Taylor's exponent, C Taylor's constant. Taylor's exponent n depends only on tool material while Taylor's constant C depends on both tool and workpiece material as well as cutting conditions. tool material Tyrus exponent and high speed steel HSS 0.008 to 0.2, cast hard LS 0.1 to 0.15, carbides 0.2 to 0.4, ceramics 0.5 to 0.7. V t power n is equal to C, ln V plus n ln T is equal to ln C. V t it will be like this, ln V ln T it will be like this. Modified Taylor's tool life equation, V t power n F power A D power B is equal to C, T is equal to C power 1 by n, V power by V power 1 by n, F power A by n, D power B by n. T is equal to C power 1 by n by V power 1 by n into F power 1 by n1 into D power 1 by n2. It is found that 1 by n greater than 1 by n1 greater than 1 by n2, which means the tool life depends more on velocity than on feed rate than on depth of cut. That is, tool life is mostly affected by cutting speed followed by feed and depth of cut. Economics of machining, cost to cutting speed, non-productive cost independent of cutting speed. To machining cost, CM inversely proportional to V. As increases, speed increases, cost decreases. Regrinding cost CG directly proportional to F of V. As the speed increases, we have to regrind it more. To changing cost CC in rupees per change directly proportional to F of V. Again like this. 5 is total cost curve, summation of all these things. Tooling cost C is equal to CG plus CC. Tooling time is equal to TG plus TC. For maximum production rate, optimum cutting speed VO is equal to C by 1 by n minus 1 into T whole power n. Optimum tool life TO is equal to 1 by n minus 1 into TE. For maximum production rate. For minimum tool cost, optimum cutting speed VO is equal to C by 1 by n minus 1 into TE plus CE by CM whole power 1 by n. Optimum tool life is equal to EO is equal to 1 by n minus 1 into TE plus CE by CM. V TO power n is equal to C. VO maximum production greater than VO maximum production rate greater than VO maximum profit greater than VO minimum to total cost. If nothing is mentioned, then go for total minimum total cost 1 by n minus 1 into TE plus CE by CM. Machinability, the ease which a material can be machined is termed as machinability. During machining two different workpieces under similar parameters, the one will be called more machinable during machining, of which tool life is more, surface finish is brittle, force and power consumption is less, specific energy consumption is less, discontinuous chips formed. Specific machining energy, it is ratio between cutting power and metal removal rate. Specific machining energy is equal to specific energy consumption shearing plus friction. Fc into V is equal to Fsvs plus F into Vc divided by Wt1v, Wt1v, Wt1v. Specific cutting pressure Pc is equal to Fc by Wt1, a Newton per mm square. Specific frictional pressure Pf is equal to F by Wt2. F by Wt2 Newton per mm square. As Vc by V can be written as T1 by T2. T1 gets cancelled. Machinability index, it is defined as ratio of cutting speed achieved by a test workpiece for 60-minute tool life and cutting speed achieved by standard workpiece for a 60-minute tool life. Generally, standard workpiece used is free cutting steel which give a speed of 30 meter per minute for a 60-minute tool life. Universal machinability index, it is defined as ratio between cutting force and shear force. Fc by Fs is equal to cos of beta minus alpha O by cos of pi plus beta minus alpha O. Milling is a highly versatile cutting operation and can be used for producing flat surface in horizontal, vertical, and inclined positions, for producing slots and keyways, for two-dimensional contouring such as gears and clutches, for three-dimensional contouring such as in case of die cavities and mold cavities, for cutting helical grooves in drill bits, etc. Types of milling operations. Slab milling operation. In slab milling operation, the slab milling cutter has teeth at its cylindrical periphery and the axis of rotation is parallel to workpiece being machined. Feed workpiece being the axis of rotation is parallel to workpiece being machined. That is slab milling. Slab. Capital diameter of cutter, small d depth of cut. This is depth of cut. Compulsory approach LC is equal to AB is equal to root of OB square minus OA square is equal to root of D by 2 whole square minus D by 2 minus small d whole square. LC is equal to root of small d into capital A minus small d. Face milling. In face milling, the milling cutter has its tooth at its face, and the axis of rotation is perpendicular to the workpiece surface. Symmetrical face milling. LC is equal to AB is equal to OB minus OA. OB minus OA is equal to D by 2 minus root of D by 2 whole square minus W by 2 whole square. LC is equal to half into capital D minus root of capital D square minus W square. Asymmetrical face milling. LC is equal to AB is equal to OB minus OA is equal to D by 2 minus root of D by 2 whole square minus WI square. Here WI means this is offset, this is center. So from this center, Wi by 2 extra Wi by 2, from this to this W by 2 plus offset. LC is equal to half into D minus root of D square minus Wi square. Wi is Wi is W plus 2 into offset. End milling. In end milling, an end milling cutter is used which has teeth both on its cylindrical periphery and face. Therefore, it can be said to be a combination of slab milling and face milling. D capital A is equal to W. Compulsory approach LC is equal to capital D by 2. TM is equal to L plus LA plus LO plus LC by FZN. L is equal to workpiece length. LA and LO approach and overhead. LC compulsory approach. F feed per tooth in per revolution tooth. Z number of tooth. N rotation speed of cutter. Table feed capital F is equal to FZN per minute. Straddle milling cutter has two slab milling cutters of same diameter mounted on single harbor, which is used to cut T-slots. Gang milling, multiple slab milling cutter are mounted on single harbor and cutters have different diameters and is used to cut multiple parallel slots of different paths either in straight line or along curved path. Difference between up milling and down milling. Up milling or conventional milling, this will rotate like this and this will move forward. That means this is in this direction, this is in this direction. The cutter and workpiece movements are in opposite direction. There is always a propensity of cutter to lift the workpiece in upward direction. Therefore, a strong holding force is required. Strong jigs and fixtures are used. Chip thickness varies from 0 to maximum. Cutting force varies from minimum to maximum. Used for roughing and high MRR. Suitable on any milling machine. Down milling or climb milling. Down milling, it is in this direction. Feed is also given in this direction. The cutter and workpiece movement are in same direction. There is enough force on workpiece by cutter to hold it into the table. Therefore, strong holding is not required. Normal jigs and fixtures are used. Chip thickness varies from maximum to 0. Cutting force varies from maximum to 0. Maximum to 0. 0 also possible in this down milling. Same direction. Use it for finishing and low MRR. New milling machines are required without a backlash. Calculation of maximum and average chip thickness. Triangle OAB. OAB. Cos theta is equal to OA1 by OB is equal to capital D by 2 minus small d by capital D by 2. Cos theta is equal to 1 minus 2d by capital D. Sin theta is equal to 1 minus root of cos square theta. And this d small d by capital D neglected as small d depth is less than diameter. Sin theta is equal to 2 root of small d by capital D. In triangle in triangle BCD, sin theta is equal to BD by BC is equal to T max by F. T max is equal to F sin theta. Maximum chip thickness T max is equal to 2F by NZ root small d by capital D. Average chip thickness T average is equal to F by NZ into root of small d by capital D. Indexing in milling. Indexing is done to subdivide the periphery of workpiece into certain number of equal sized divisions. For example, if we want to produce a hexagonal bolt, we then the head of bolt is to be given a hexagonal shape, which it will have to have to be rotated by 60 degrees. Similarly, if we want to make a gear with n number of tooths, the periphery of gear blank has to be subdivided into n divisions, for which the gear block will have to be rotated by 360 by n for n number of times. Universal dividing head, it is most popular and common type of arrangement to do indexing. Change gears indexing. Worm wheel 40 teeth. Worm wheel 40 teeth, main spindle, work holder, workpiece, worm spindle, bevel gear, indexing plate, crank, spring loaded pin. By using universal dividing head, we obtain a speed reduction ratio of 40:1 between the indexing crank and the workpiece. That is ICM by WPM is equal to 40 by 1. Index crank movement by workpiece movement. Direct or rapid indexing. In this method, at first the worm and worm wheel are detached so that the workpiece can be held by hand and rotated manually. Now a rapid indexing having either 24 grooves or 36 grooves is mounted on main spindle. If it has a 24 groove plate, then number of groove advancements required will be 24 by n, but it will be able to move only be able to produce the following subdivisions: 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, 24. If it is a 36 groove plate, then required number of subdivisions can be found by 36 by n, but it will be able to make only following subdivisions: n is equal to 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18, 36. Plain indexing or simple indexing. In case of rapid indexing, we can produce only certain fixed number of subdivisions. The simple indexing method overcomes this main limitation of rapid indexing. In simple indexing, the worm and worm wheel are attached so that ICM is to WBM is equal to 40 is to 1. Now required indexing crank movement is found with the help of following formula. ICM is equal to 40 by N. If ICM calculated from above formula is whole number, then simply rotate the crank by that many revolutions. But if ICM calculated from above formula is not a whole number, then simplify the ICM and represent it as a whole number part and a fraction part. For example, ICM 40 by 7 is represented by 5 by 7. Rotating the crank by whole number part is not a problem, but rotating the crank by rest of fraction part is not possible manually, and therefore we use indexing plates to rotate the crank by fraction part. The indexing plates are like discs having concentric rings of equi-sized and equi-spaced. Plate 1 15 16 like this, plate 2 plate 3 these number of holes. To rotate the crank by fraction, at first the process the fraction part by multiplying an integer into its denominator as well as numerator in such a way that denominator becomes equal to any number of holes present on any one part of the plate. The denominator of processed fraction represents the whole circle onto the indexing plate with respect to which crank has to be rotated, while the numerator is processed fraction stands for the number of spaces to be advanced in that specific whole circle. For example, we have to make 7 subdivisions. ICM is equal to 40 by 7 is equal to 5 by 7. Is 5 by 7 15 by 21, 15 spaces in 21 whole circle, or 35 spaces in 49 whole circle plus 5 revolutions. Do simple indexing to cut 280 teeth on Spurrier blank. ICM is equal to 40 by 280 is equal to 1 by 7. 3 by 21, 3 spaces in 21 circle hole, or 7 by 49, 7 spaces in 49 whole circle. Do simple indexing. Okay, 40 by 277. Now not at all divisible, so this is not possible. Differential indexing. In differential indexing, the indexing plate is made to rotate with respect to rotating crank, for which number of change gears and intermediate gears are used between main spindle and indexing plate. At first choose an approximate number A which may be either greater than or smaller than n, and can be indexed by simple indexing. Now find ICM by using the following formula. ICM is equal to 40 by n. To rotate indexing plate with respect to crank, use change gears between main spindle and indexing plate with the following gear ratio. Gear ratio is equal to A minus n into 40 by n. A greater than n, n is equal to 277, let A is equal to 280. A less than n, n is equal to 277, let n is equal to 270. ICM is equal to 40 by A, 40 by 280, 1 by 7, 3 holes in 3 spaces in 21 holes plate. Gear ratio is equal to A minus n by A into by A minus n into 40 by A. 280 minus 277 into 40 by A, gear ratio is equal to 3 by 7. Here A minus n into 40 by A, it will come negative minus 28 by 77, rotate in opposite direction. Grinding is a surface finish operation, but can also be used for descaling and deburring, for cutting slots and cleavage of small depth, for slitting and parting, for producing a single point cutting tool, for regrinding the cutting tool. Grinding is an abrasive machining process in which we use an abrasive wheel called grinding wheel. In the wheel, the abrasive particles, also called grids, are bonded, also called grids, are bonded together with help of suitable bonding agent. These grids have very high hot hardness value and very high resistance to wear, corrosion and chemical reaction. Each of the grid in the wheel can be visualized as a single point cutting tool, but none of them will have same geometry. When observed closely, it is found that their rake angle may vary between plus 40 degrees to minus 60 degrees. Chip first plowing or rubbing, these will be shape will be shearing. Unexposed layer of grids, suitable bonding agent, exposed layer of grids. The grids which have stable geometry produce chips through shearing action, but those with very small negative rake angle will either rub the workpiece surface or will do plowing action leading to lateral flow of workpiece material. Parameters of grinding wheel. Types of abrasive. Al2O3 is aluminum oxide is softest abrasive and is used during grinding of iron and steel. Silicon carbide SiC, it is harder than Al2O3 and it is used during the grinding of bronze and stainless steel. Note: during grinding of steel, Al2O3 is preferred over SiC silicon carbide wheel because during grinding steel very high impact loads appear under which hard SiC grids will easily fracture, but Al2O3 being more softer will easily withstand high impact loads. Moreover, Al2O3 will shows more chemical inertness towards steel as compared to SiC wheel. CBN, cubic boron nitride. Cubic CBN is called as next hardest known material after diamond, and it is used during grinding of hard and tough tool steels, die steels, hard coatings, and other hard alloys. Diamond, hardest known material and used during grinding of very hard materials such as carbides and very hard non-ferrous alloys. Size of grain size of abrasive particles in grinding wheel plays an important role, very important role. If size of grain is larger, then it will result in high MRR but poor surface finish, and if size of grain is smaller, then it will result in low MRR but better surface finish. Size of grain is quantified by grit number, which is inversely proportional to size of grain. Hardness or grade of wheel. Hardness or grade of wheel shows that how strongly the grits are bonded into the wheel. If it is bonded strongly, then we call it as a hard wheel or a high grade wheel. It is bonded loosely, then we call it soft wheel or low grade wheel. Hard material should be grinded by soft wheel so as to maintain shelf sharpening characteristic of wheel. During grinding, the sharp grits which are exposed to workpiece wears down slowly, due to which the grits wedge angle increases, the rake angle decreases, theta increases, alpha decreases, F increases. Hence, force per grit increases, giving rise to increase in stress per grit. Once this stress goes beyond the bonding strength of grit into the wheel, the worn out grit dislodges from wheel, giving room to fresh and sharp grit. This wheel characteristic is called a shelf sharpening characteristic. If a hard material is grinded by hard wheel, then rake of wear on grit will be very high and hence it will wear out swiftly, but since bonding is very strong, the grit will not dislodge from the wheel. After certain time, all sharp grits are exposed. In the exposed layer will wear out but do not dislodge from the wheel, giving rise to condition called glazing. The glazed wheel will no more be able to remove any material and hence maintain self-sharpening characteristic. And to avoid glazing, a soft wheel loosely bonded grits is used to grind hard material. If a soft material is grinded by soft wheel, then the grits will wear down slowly, but as there will be rise in force per grit, the loosely bonded sharp grit will dislodge from the wheel and therefore the grit and hence the wheel undergo premature death. To avoid this, hard wheel is used to grind soft materials. Structure of wheel. If the wheel or concentration of wheel show gap between grids, if the gap between grids is sufficiently large, it is called open wheel. Otherwise, dense wheel. During grinding, chips produced by grids accommodate between grids and then at the top of workpiece, the accommodated chips come out due to centrifugal action of wheel. If a dense wheel is included in high MRR, then the chips will be larger in size, but the unavailable space to accommodate them will be relatively smaller, due to which the chips will get welded and jammed within this gap and will not come out due to centrifugal action of the wheel, leading to condition called as loading. The loaded wheel will no more be able to remove any material, hence to avoid loading, open wheels are involved in high MRR operations, whereas to give prolonged life to wheel, dense wheels are involved in low MRR operations. Types of bonds. Vitrified bond, it is a clay based bond. The vitrified bonded wheels are porous and highly refractive, and they are unaffected by high heat water and cutting fluids. The vitrified bonded wheels cannot be used at very high cutting speed, as it is brittle and cannot withstand high impact load which appear during grinding, as it is brittle and cannot withstand a high impact load which appear during grinding. Rubber bond or rubber along with abrasives together altogether are rolled in form of sheet, and then by kneading several wheels are cut out from it. This bond is used for making thin and flexible wheels. Kneading is nothing but make a sheet, then using, like for example, taking a glass and making round ones similar to that. This bond is used for making thin and flexible wheels. Shellac bond is shellac is a resin produced by lac worm and is used to make thin and flexible wheels. Resinite bond, also called as bakelite bond, and is basically a plastic phenolic resin based bond. Since plastics have very wide range of variance in its property, therefore resonate bond has outdated rubber and shellac bonds. Metallic bonds are used for making the super abrasive wheels and wheels used in electrochemical grinding. ISO designation of grinding wheel. Optional prefix, optional suffix. To remember this, given by AS guys have super brain. This is manufacturers first optional prefix is manufacturer's private marking. Example, to know exact kind of abrasive. This first A is type of abrasive: A aluminum oxide, B boron, CBN, C silicon carbide, D diamond. Grit, and this is grit number: coarse 10 to 24, roughing; medium 30 to 60, medium finishing; fine 70 to 180, finishing. very fine 220 to 600 super finishing. This H is hardness. A to I soft, I to P medium, P to Z hard. Again S here structure 1 to 8 dense, 9 to 16 9 to 16 open. 1 to 8 is dense, coarse, dense, and then this is a type of bond. The optionals of manufacturer's private marking example to keep wheel records. Truing and dressing. Truing is done to bring every point of grinding surface concentric with the main spindle so as to introduce and establish concentricity and form shape into the wheel. Dressing is the process that comes after truing, especially in the case of super abrasive, and it represents grinding wheel sharpening by exposing abrasive grits above the wheel. Conventional grinding wheels, which are inexpensive, can be trued and dressed at same time, and the process can be repeated uh, periodically, and it is referred as conditioning. However, super abrasive grinding wheels like CBN and diamond wheels are serious investments and requires much more attention to dressing and truing separately. Grinding ratio or wheel ratio, G ratio. It is the ratio between amount of material removed from workpiece and the amount of material lost from the wheel. Types of grinding processes. Surface grinding, it uses a grinding wheel to remove material from work surface so as to create flat surface. Cylindrical grinding, also called as center type of grinding, and is used to grind cylindrical surfaces and shoulders of workpiece. The external grinding is used to grind the external surface, and internal grinding is used to grind internal diameter. Tapered hole can be grind with internal grinders that can swivel on horizontal. Centerless grinding, A grinding wheel, B workpiece, C regulating wheel, D work rest blade. Grinding wheel rotation, 1 grinding wheel workpiece rotation, 2 3 regulating wheel rotation, 4 infeed, 5 transfers. In case of centerless grinding, the workpiece is held between two wheels rotating in same direction but at different speeds at a work rest blade. The grinding wheel is on a fixed axis and rotates in such a way that force applied to workpiece is directed downwards against a work holding platform. This wheel performs the grinding action by having higher tangential speed than the workpiece. The relative movement between wheel and workpiece determines the rate at which material is removed from workpiece. During operation, regulating work speed and work speed are same, and hence there will be there will be no slipping between regulating wheel and workpiece. The regulating wheel is movable and it is positioned in to apply lateral pressure to workpiece. Usually it has a higher, either very high or very rough or a rough bonded abrasive to trap the work. The angle between grinding wheel and the regulating wheel is necessary to provide the feed movement to workpiece so that the material enters the wheel pair at the from and comes out from the rear, and the front and comes out from the rear. These are workbook questions. Drilling is an oblique cutting operation to cut cylindrical holes. The drill bit used in drilling is a double point cutting tool which is generally made up of high speed steel for metal cutting, while high carbon steel for carpentry. High carbon steel for carpentry. Double point cutting tool which is generally made of high speed steel in metal cutting. High speed steel for metal cutting, high carbon steel for carpentry. At first drill bits are forged from the required material, and then the forged cylindrical blank is twisted to increase its torsional rigidity. Thereafter, the drill bit is tapered from its tip towards the shank side. Now, by using end milling cutter, helical grooves, also called flutes, are produced onto cylindrical surface so that when the drill enters into workpiece, the chips flow through flutes and come out of the hole. The grinding wheels are used to produce the two cutting edges at required geometry. Thereafter, a shank is welded to it by friction welding. G generatrix, D directrix. This is generatrix. This is directrix. F mm per revolution. The angle between two cutting edges of drill bit True cutting edges of drill bit is called as point angle 2 beta. It is measured in a plane containing both cutting edges and axis of drill bit. The standard point angle is 118 degrees for hard steel and cast iron, 116 degrees to 118 degrees, hardened steel 125 degrees, bronze, Vassar bronze 130 degrees to 135 degrees, wood plastic 45 degrees to 60 degrees. Hardness of workpiece directly proportional to point angle. That means more hard, more point angle. The angle between leading edge of land and axis of drill bit is called helix angle. At cylindrical surface, the helix angle is maximum and is called rake angle. In triangle PQR, sin beta is equal to PQ by PR is equal to T1 by F by 2. T1 by F by 2. Uncut chip thickness T1 is equal to F by 2 sin beta. In triangle OAB, this is D, this is W. Sin beta is equal to AB by OB is equal to D by W. Width of cutter is W is equal to D by 2 sin beta. Calculation of drilling time. Through hole T compulsory approach. This is compulsory approach or cone height LO LA, blind hole LC LO T. No over travel. In triangle OAB, tan beta is equal to AB by OA is equal to D by 2 by LC. Cone height LC is equal to D by 2 tan beta. LC D by 2 tan beta. If beta is unknown, in MCQ get neglect LC unless until mentioned. In conventional questions, assume LC is equal to 0.5 D for through hole, LC is equal to 0.33 D for blind hole. Drilling time TD is equal to L by Fn. L is equal to LA plus LO plus T plus LC. Idle motion should not be put in above because it will not affect tool life, but it will be extra time. Broaching is a multi-point cutting tool and was originally invented to cut keyways, but by looking at its advantages, nowadays it comes in various shapes to cut various sections. Each of the tooth of broach rises slightly very higher than the previous one, which is called rise per tooth edge, which corresponds to feed per tooth of a milling cutter, while gap between edges and teeth is called as pitch. Each of tooth in broach removes a small amount of material from workpiece as shown in following figure by dotted line. Like size will increase, this distance is pitch, this distance is hedge rise per tooth. Broach consists of different set of teeth. First set of teeth is called roughing teeth and it has a highest rise per teeth and removes material in bulk. The second set of teeth is called semi-finished teeth. Its rise per tooth is relatively smaller than roughing teeth and hence removes relatively less material. ZF, PFHS, ZS, PSHS, ZR, PSH, pull and this is pull and this is push and roughing teeth, semi-finishing teeth, finishing teeth. The last set of teeth is called as finishing teeth, which has no rise per teeth. HF is equal to 0. The finishing teeth do not remove any material and only finishes the cut surface produced by semi-finishing teeth. Keyway cutting, depth of cut keyway is D is equal to ZR HR plus ZS HS, width of keyway W is equal to width of broach. Width of broach. How hole enlargement required number of teeth Z is equal to df minus di by 2h. Length of broach LB is equal to ZR PR plus ZS PS plus ZF PF. LB T di df h. Broaching time TB is equal to LB plus T by VB. Lathe operations, most of the machine tools, the spindle speed is varied in geometric progression with varying diameter to keep the cutting velocity constant so that power remains constant. N, Nr, Nr square, Nr cube, so on, Nr power n minus 1. Where minimum spindle rotational speed Nmin is equal to N, maximum spindle rotational speed Nmax is equal to Nr power n minus 1. R step ratio N available number of spindle speeds. Step ratio R is equal to Nmax by Nmin whole power 1 by n minus 1 is equal to Dmax by Dmin whole power 1 by n minus 1. 1000 V by pi Dmin n by 1000 V by pi d max. This will be maximum RPM. So d max by d min plane turning d total is equal to do minus dn by 2. Number of passes is equal to n is equal to d total by d max is equal to do minus dn by 2d max. This is d max now. Total turning time is equal to capital T is equal to T1 plus T2 plus so on Tn. T1 is equal to L by Fn1, N1 is equal to 1000 V by pi do, T2 is equal to L by Fn2, N2 is equal to 1000 V by pi d1. Fn travel velocity or feed velocity. Disk facing, let us assume during facing a disk of inner diameter dA and outer diameter do, the cutting tool faces dr length in time dt at a speed f and speed rpm n. dr is equal to d capital D by 2. dt is equal to minus d capital D by 2 by fn is equal to minus d capital D by 2 by f into pi v by pi d. Integral 0 to capital T dt is equal to minus pi by 2 fv integral do to da d dd pi by 2 f into pi di square by 2 minus do square by 2. T is equal to pi by 4 f into do square minus di square. For solid disk, di is equal to 0. T is equal to pi by 4 f into do square. Taper turning theta half taper angle 2 theta sin theta is equal to d max by L1. L1 is equal to d max cosecant theta. Sin theta is equal to 2d max by 2d max by L2. L2 is equal to 2d max cosecant theta. So on Ln, similarly Ln is equal to nd max cosecant theta. Total time capital T is equal to T1 plus T2 plus so on Tn. T is equal to L1 by Fn plus L2 by Fn so on Ln by Fn. T is equal to d max by Fn cosecant theta plus 2d max by Fn cosecant theta so on nd max cosecant theta by Fn. T is equal to d max by Fn cosecant theta into n plus 1 by 2. Taper turning methods. Compound rest method. In this method, the tool is mounted on a compound rest which can be swiveled at any angle between 0 degrees and 90 degrees. If it is kept at 0 degrees, feed is done axially, then it is results in plane turning. Similarly, if it is kept at 90 degrees and thinning is done radially, then it results in phase turning. If it is swiveled at theta degrees, then it results in taper turning with taper angle of 2 theta. This compound rest is kept at an angle. DI L capital L field DF. In triangle OAB, tan theta is equal to OB by OA, tan theta is equal to DI minus DF by 2L. Di minus df by 2L. This method is suitable for producing very large taper angles but can only produce the taper for small taper lengths. Tailstock offset method. LF offset L0 L offset theta. In tailstock offset method, the tailstock is offset a little so that the rotational axis of workpiece is inclined at an angle theta with horizontal. The feed is given similar to turning, that is axially. In triangle OAB, tan theta is equal to AB by OA is equal to offset by L. Offset is equal to L tan theta. L tan theta. Offset is equal to L into capital L into DI minus DF by 2L. This method is suitable for producing small taper angle and not exceeding 8 degrees for longer taper angle, longer taper length. Form tool method. In form tool method, a form tool is directly plunged into the workpiece to form taper at the end of workpiece, in such as in case of chamfering. Thread cutting operation. Main spindle gear, main spindle pitch of job thread, TS intermediate gear, lead screw gear, pitch of lead screw, carriage lead screw. Thread cutting operation is similar to plane turning with one mandatory condition, that feed should be equal to pitch of thread to be cut. For this, tool is feed automatically with help of different set of gears connecting the lead screw with main spindle. Gear ratio is equal to pitch of job by pitch of lead screw. Pitch is equal to lead of job by lead of lead screw is equal to speed of lead screw by speed of job is equal to speed of lead screw by speed of job. Peak to valley height, H max is equal to F by tan psi s plus cot psi a. H max is equal to F square by 8R. Center line average area is equal to H max by 4. Number of passes will be required to obtain hole radial depth without losing tool life. The appropriate number of passes can be found as follows. For external thread cutting, N is equal to 25 by TPC. TP thread per centimeter. For internal thread cutting, N is equal to 30 by TPC. Left hand thread, right hand thread. Left hand thread assumption workpiece rotates counterclockwise. Tool movement left to right. Lead screw should rotate in opposite direction as as of workpiece, that is clockwise. Simple gear train, even intermediate, compound gear train, odd intermediate. Right hand thread assumption workpiece rotates counterclockwise. Tool movement should be right to left. Lead screw should rotate in same direction as of workpiece, that is counterclockwise. This simple. If simple gear train, odd in odd intermediates. If compound gear train, even number of intermediates are 0. Gear 1 by gear ratio is equal to lead of lead screw by lead of lead spindle. Boring in this operation, diameter of an already drilled hole or casted hole is increased on a lathe machine by using single point cutting tool. The operation can be said to be internal turning. Effect of offsetting the tool in turning. Upward tool offset sin theta is equal to OF by R. Theta is equal to sin inverse offset by R. Alpha effective increases, gamma effective decreases. Alpha effective is equal to alpha plus theta, gamma effective is equal to gamma minus theta, as as if it is kept above, then it will be like this. So alpha effective is equal to alpha plus theta, gamma effective is equal to gamma minus theta. Tool flank will start rubbing the workpiece of gamma effective is equal to 0, that is gamma is equal to theta. Downwards tool offset, theta is equal to sin inverse offset by R. Alpha effective decreases, gamma effective increases. Alpha effective is equal to alpha minus theta. Gamma effective is equal to gamma plus theta. This line is moves towards like this. This line will be like this, alpha minus theta. If it is kept above, then this line will be like this, gamma effective decreases. Effect of offsetting tool in boring. Since boring is like turning of internal surface, therefore the effect will be just opposite to that of turning. That is, if tool offset is upwards, then alpha effective decreases and gamma effective increases. If tool offset is downwards, then alpha effective increases, gamma effective decreases. Counter boring. By using an end milling cutter, the diameter of an already drilled hole is increased a little in its beginning so as to make the sitting place for head of bolt. Countersinking. This is by using a drill bit, the hole is enlarged in its beginning so as to make a sitting place of head of screw. Trepanning. By using an end milling cutter, a large size hole is cut, leaving the core inside. Honing is an abrasive machining process to finish machine the internal surface of engine cylinders. The honing tool reciprocates and rotates inside the cylinder, removing very small amount of material from surface of cylinder uniformly. Nulling is process to produce diamond-shaped impressions on cylindrical workpiece by cutting small amount of material from workpiece surface with the help of a nulling tool rotating with respect to workpiece. Trimming. Drill bits are made a bit smaller in size so that some material is left which can be removed by reaming so that a hole will be brought to exact size with relatively better surface finish. Shaping, planning, slotting. In all three operations, the cutting movement occurs in straight line while feed is done intermittently in a direction perpendicular to cutting movement. In shaping, the tool is mounted in a reciprocating ram which reciprocates with help of quick return mechanism, and during forward motion the cutting tool remains in contact with workpiece, and then at the end of workpiece as it clears the workpiece, the tool lifts and ram does a backward stroke and at relatively higher speed VR greater than VC so as to save production time. The intermittent feed is obtained with help of Richard and Paul mechanism. Shapers are only suitable for small workpiece. In case of long workpiece, planning is used in which work table reciprocates in which work table reciprocates at very high speed. Intermittent feeding is given to the tool. In case of in case the shape of workpiece is as such that it is difficult to mount on horizontal table of shaper, then slotting is used. The slotters are vertical shaper. Here, if you observe, tool reciprocates like this. Feed is given intermittently. LO, LA, LA. One stroke or double stroke same. Cutting stroke plus return stroke. Forward stroke VC, backward stroke VR. Time taken in one double stroke per stroke T1 is equal to Tc plus Tr. T1 is equal to L by Vc plus L by Vr. L is equal to L plus La plus Lo. Number of required strokes N is equal to W by F. W is equal to W plus Wa plus Wo. F feed per stroke. Total time T is equal to N into T1. One stroke T1 is equal to L by Vc plus L by Vr. N is equal to W by F. Width. Cutting tool material carbon steels, it lack red hardness or hot hardness, therefore it has limited tool life and hence not suitable for mass production, but the cost is less, hence suitable to hand tools and carpentry. High speed steel have tendency to retain its hardness even at very high speed and temperature, that is, it has high hot hardness. The first grade of high speed steel developed was 1841 HSS, in which apart from iron and carbon the following elements are alloyed: tungsten 18%, BCC 18%, red hardness improves hot hardness, ferritic stabilizer, chromium BCC 44%, 1841 4% improves corrosion resistance sensitization, vanadium 1% improves hardenability and resists grain growth. Nowadays, two different grades of HSS are available, which are T series HSS and M series HSS. HSS is widely used for drills, lathe tools, shaper, and planar tools, reamers, broachers, blade of power saw. The composition of first M series grade is 6% molybdenum, 6% tungsten, 4% chromium, and 1% vanadium. In HSS, sometimes cobalt is also added, which is called cobalt high speed steel, which increases the cutting efficiency. The cobalt proportion is very low, vary between 2 to 15%, 2% to 15%. Cast cobalt alloy. Stellite is a non-ferrous cast alloy mm, which is composed of cobalt, chromium, tungsten. The alloy primarily contains cobalt strengthened by chromium and tungsten. Cemented carbides, these are powder metallurgy products and are very hard, such as straight carbides WC, TAC, TAC, and multi carbides WTAC, TATAC, WTA, TAC. The carbides come in different shapes such as squares, triangles, diamonds, and rounds. Most often, they have negative rake angle. Hot hardness is very high and cobalt acts as binder and is always present along with the carbide. Ceramics are basically Al2O3 based highly refractory material used for high speed machining of difficult to machine material and cast iron. These can withstand very high temperature and are chemically more resistant and higher wear resistance than other tool materials. It can operate at almost 3 times the speed of TIC. The constituents of ceramics are oxides of different materials which are ground and sintered to make ceramics.
Hardness of carbides varies in following order: HSS less than, TAC less than, WC less than, TIC less than, multicarbide less than, ceramic. Sometimes the carbide tools are coated by TIN, TAC and TIC by CVD technique, chemical vapor deposition. Cermets are basically composite of metal and ceramic which can withstand much more temperature than alloy of steel, tungsten and other composites of steel. Diamond, it has following properties: extreme hardness, very low thermal expansion, very high heat conductivity, very low coefficient of friction, mostly used for machining very hard non-ferrous alloys at very high speed. Hot hardness varies in following order: HSS less than, high diamond less than, carbide. Hot hardness, HSS less than, HSS less than, diamond less than, carbide. Carbide has more hot hardness than diamond. Cutting fluid. The following are role of cutting fluid during machining: cooling of tool chip interface, reducing friction, reducing thermal distortion, washing away the chips, protecting the work from corrosion. Following are characteristics of cutting fluid: high thermal conductivity, high specific heat, low viscosity, should be extremely inert, should be chemically inert, non-corrosive, non-toxic, easily and readily available. Cutting fluids are mainly of two types: water-based fluids, mineral oil-based fluids. Additives are used to obtain different objectives. Kerosene is used for aluminium. Cast iron does not require any cutting fluid and is dry machined because the excess of graphite gives solid lubricating action.